Alright, hello. So here I am going to be doing a VOD review of Shaundia's game. I believe that that's how you say it. If it's not, sorry, my bad. So, initially, the first thing I notice is that you put this ward here. Um, you can wait until about 55 seconds to do so. It's not super detrimental, but it gives you some more vision. So essentially, we're at 120 here. We're about 130. So here, by the time it spawns, you got 30 seconds of vision, where you could have had 50, so like a full minute. So once again, not a big deal, but it is just a small thing. I'm going to speed through it a little bit at the beginning, but it's okay. So here, you should hit the big Krug. It keeps going away, sorry. You should hit the big Krug, and then if you do it right, the small Krug won't even attack you. It'll just dance back and forth, and you won't take nearly as much damage as you did here. So, taking Krugs, no biggie. You go to Raptors, good, line them all up. Good, all good things. Here you end up checking towards mid lane. You see he's really low. Perfect, good time for a roam. He pools, but I mean, it's to be expected. You go back for full clearing. This is okay. You could have also gone for a crab here, given the fact that it's up and we know that um, although bottom just died, usually what happens is the enemy jungler will start bot side and path up, so it would be likely that she would be on the top crab, but either way, what you did is totally fine. Generic full clear, all good. So right about, actually let me reset it real quick. So here, sorry, here I sped through it too fast, but you're taking the blue buff. Where should the enemy jungler be? If you use your mind right here, think about it. Where should the enemy jungler be? Well, you started red, and most players, no matter what, will start with their bot side, so they will start down here. If we're here, but we took a small detour to gank mid, and they didn't, where should they be? Roughly, if you're here, they should be here. They're going to be a little bit ahead, given the fact that you did do the detour and you're starting this now. So my assumption is Diana will be right about where my pointer is. If I open up the vision, oh my god, look where she is, right where my pointer is. So here, given the fact that you're here, your Volibear should know this, but since it's low elo or high elo, regardless, most people are goofballs and they don't think about it. He gets ganked. So here's one of those times you could backping and say, hey, enemy jungler should be topside, or just danger ping, not necessarily backping. So you end up taking Scuttle. Perfect. Here, personally, what I would do is reset so that you can go back to your top side and then clear all the way down towards the dragon that is spawning in 20 seconds. You'll be slow, but you'll get another full clear. Instead, you go towards mid. He's not paying attention. He gets absolutely blasted. You get a nice kill. Ooh. Let's watch that again. And then use the absolute skilled Vi prowess. Oh! To E the minion. It got away. That's so tragic. But anyway, here, what you can do is you opt to invade. This is okay. This is fine. We know, once again, if Diana started bottom, and the bottom camps are respawning, and the last time we saw Diana was on the top side of the map, that means most likely she should be, if you said she should be here, that is correct. Let's see if she is. Oh my gosh, she's walking to her raptors. So she's literally perfectly out of vision for me to say that, but she should be here. She reset, she should have walked towards her camp and then clear all the way up once again. You invading here is totally okay, since you just killed mid. You have Prio, even though he's got low mana, he can help. Bot lane has Prio, so their lane can't roam. You do this, You could have queued onto her. Either way, it's okay. You go for the ballsy move. Sure, that works. You go back in. This right here was kind of a silly play. So it's kind of a nitpicky thing. Here, there is no chance you kill her. She's close to the tower. You don't have enough damage. You haven't backed yet. Malzahar's not going to back you up. There's just no point to go in here. It's kind of just a waste of time. You don't lose anything. You don't gain anything. You could have just left. The only thing you lose is a little bit of HP. This, however, is not ideal. Why? So, you can either pause it and think about it, or I'll just tell you right here. Given the fact that you're going here, and you started topside, you are now staggering your camps. So I have a little pen tool here. So if we look at the mini-map here, bada bing, bada boom, you're here right now. This camp is soon to be respawning, which means the next one to soon to be respawning is this. So you're going to have to go here, here, and then either reset, go here to here, and then the other two camps aren't going to be up, or you go here and then down to here and skip Krugs, which is bad because Krugs are worth a lot of money. So ideally what you should have done is, given the fact that you haven't reset yet, you're sitting on most likely 2 smites, almost 2 smites, and you've got 1,500 gold just reset. If you reset, then you are actively increasing your clear time because you have gold to spend, you have more damage that you're going to be using to clear the camps, and if you get in a fight, it's going to be way better, like way more beneficial. So you doing this it gets you more gold, sure, but it's not great. And then instead of going for another camp, which you could have gone here, or reset into here to here, also Dragon is up, you opt to go towards the top side. We don't know where the Diana is, but we knew that she cleared this, so it is very likely that she's on Wolves or on her Gromp right now. If she's pathing correctly, she should be there, because her blue buff is spawning soon. We knew that she was on the bottom half of the map last time, so she should be around here. If we look at it, she's currently ganking bottom. So she is down here, quote unquote, which is wrong, but it works for her. Sure. So you go in, engage, I assume because you saw her. You see the Gromp, and then you start to leave, and then you're like, wait, I want Gromp. So that's another little waste of time. It's not super detrimental, but decision making is very important. And there's a solid queue. You don't get to do anything. Volabear's, you know, getting slow pushed into. So you can help him push here, I guess. There's no point for you to be here. You're just wasting time. You can take this blue buff. Rift Herald is spawning in 42 seconds. Your red buff's up. Your Krugs are up. And crazily enough, it's very obnoxious that it keeps doing that. Perfect. Alright. So, crazily enough, you still haven't backed. You're sitting on 2k gold. Dragon's up. Rift Herald's up. Your entire top side for the most part's up, except for the Raptors you took. Bottom side's up, and blue's going to be spawning soon. So, you're just wasting a lot of time. Here, Vlad gets away. One, you missed an auto, but he wouldn't have died to that auto anyway. And two, had you recalled before this back, you would have had the damage to kill him. But instead, you just stay on the map for way too long and don't have the power you should. Now you go back to farming instead of backing one more time. Bot lane is super pushed up. We don't know where Diana is. Diana should be, now that the last time we saw her, she was bottom. In theory, she should be on the top side of the map. Let's see. Nope, she's still pathing incorrectly. She's not taking the objective, you're not taking the objective, and you still leave these Krugs up. At least now the camps have reset. So we get to spend our gold. Getting a Dirk is far better than Caulfield's here, by the way. It's just a way bigger power spike. But either way, it's okay. This is something you never want to do. you don't want to go to the inner camps first. You always want to start on the outer and clear all the way up, because it just makes for a way cleaner path. You go to check if Diana's here. Okay. Clear the ward, and then you leave. Take the blue buff. Here we should be taking blue and Gromp at the same time, which you can do right about here. Gromp walk over, blue walks over, and they don't lose any patience. You can do them at the same time with your Q and your E, and they slowly burn, and it saves some time. It's not super detrimental, but every second in the jungle counts, and every second is time that you could be doing something else. So, for example, it has now been 5 minutes since this dragon has spawned. You should be on that, like, a dog on a steak or something. I don't know the saying, but you should be on that real quick. Real quick. It's been 5 minutes, and it's been 2 minutes since Rift Herald has spawned. You should be them on spawn. Here you go back towards it. You don't take it. You just ignore it. Diana shows. Here, you can go for Rift. You see Voli needs some help. Okay. Here is something that I want to go over. This is like the second or third time you do this. This is very important. I don't care if you hit this Q. I don't care if you miss this Q. When you gank, throwing a Q like this is bad. You can pause it right here and think about why. But the reason why is Jax, where is his safety? Jax's safety is this way, okay? The fastest way to dodge a skill shot, if this yellow line is the skill shot, the quickest way is in a direct 90-degree angle this way or this way. If he's already trying to walk in this 90-degree angle away from your Q, that is the easiest chance he has to dodge it. You're already in front of him right now, towards his turret. So he has to walk somewhat into you, okay? So if you just wait and you get to about here, and Jax is running and he hops or whatever and is here, it is far more difficult for him to dodge a skill shot coming this way in the same path he's traveling, because he now has to dodge this way or this way, which is not in his natural movement. So if you hold your Q, it is way more likely you'll hit it. Once again, I don't know if you do or not. Let's see. You Q, you're not even in range to do so. You could have just waited. Instead, you ult him here, and he walks back in. He didn't have to walk in. He could have kept walking away. He wanted the Volibear, I suppose. But literally, just be more patient with your Qs. You just killed him up top. You should have helped him push this wave. You would have gotten a lot of XP. Here, you can take Rift Herald. That would be perfect. Let's see what you do. You do. Great. This is good. You take the first objective of the game. Diana's down here. We just saw her take the dragon. She's most likely going to dive. So after you take this, you should instantly invade. You take it, and then you recall. This is all yours to take. We know about Diana's bot side. There's nothing she can do to stop you. Sure, they know you took Rift Herald, but this is yours. You have 1,400 gold, but there's zero risk of taking this before you recall. Especially if you have Rift, you got that quick recall. So now, now that both objectives are off of the map for the next 5 minutes, where should you go next? So, a big thing, let me rewind it for you. Even if we're not paying attention to this, you're standing and recalling. Callista just got this kill right here. Yeah? If we look at this, Vayne has a bounty. Okay? You should be heading straight to the bottom lane. You have lethality. This is going to be the easiest thing to kill. Vayne is a squishy. She has no support. Vlad is just going to pool. Jax is just going to counter-strike or R. you're never going to kill him. If you run straight bottom here, you can go for a free kill once your R's up shortly. It'll be up by the time you get there, because it takes about 20 seconds to get the lane. You kill her, you can push in with Rift Herald, come back up, bing, bang, boom, and then you clear all the way up once again in a fast, quick succession. Instead, you go for a middle camp again, which is bad. You gotta stop doing this. Krugs are better, Gromp is better, everything else is better. You go back top lane, this is questionable, Jax says Counter-Strike. You end up killing him anyway. Okay. Here, you should help him push one more time, and then just send Rift Herald for plates. You can get all 5 here with Volibear. That's a lot of gold. Instead, you go for an invade. Okay, we just saw Diana here very briefly. This is okay to do. You should be taking both of these at the same time, Gromp and blue buff, so that it's quicker. And then you would have had this entire top tower as well. But instead you go mid, go for the ballsy move of just dropping Rift Herald here. Very scary because of the Diana, but you end up getting it anyway. First tower gold goes to you. Sick. So here you should clear red into Krugs and reset so that you can spend your gold and then be near the bottom side for when dragon spawns in 2 minutes. Okay, you should reset. Good. You do it. Let me pause and see my notes. So here, what should we do? I think the answer is pretty obvious. There's nothing to do on the top side of the map. So we should go to the bottom side. You spend a little while in base buying. I think Mercury Treads is mediocre. There's Jack Stun, and then there's Root from Swain, and then Condemn from Vayne. It's kind of mediocre. You have your R to dodge CC anyway, so it's whatever. You take this Scuttle, and you go in for a bot play. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect. Here, once again, you got a successful gank, push the wave. Get your extra XP, extra gold, help yourself. You go in for an invade, sick. This works. Take this, take that. Dragon's up in 29, you should be instantly on that. You go bottom for a regank, exceptional. Perfect. Here, Vayne's alive, Callista's at half. You guys should just back off for the dragon that's in 7 seconds. Diana shows up, you get a saver. Just absolutely blasted. Nice. Here, you just killed 3 of them. You should back off for the dragon. Dragon is the objective here. It's permanent, you need it, it's easy to take. You greed for another wave. Oh no, Vladimir's here. Callista, I don't know if she just didn't notice, but she dies. You have to burn your flash, you don't get the objective, you don't get anything from it, where you could have for free. So that was a bad play. Everyone was dead, free objective, but we greed for a little bit more. So here you buy a little bit. Okay. Hit this button. Where should we go now? It looks like you're heading towards the bottom side of the map. The objective up currently, once again, is Dragon. You got your camps up here. You got 1 camp, then Rift Heralds in 34 seconds. What would be the ideal play? We should have to assume that Dragon is already being started and is most likely going to die. So what you can do is go camps into top lane and take Rift Herald since it's an objective. Vladimir gets absolutely roasted, and you get here. You kill Diana, sick. Ignore Swain, get this objective. Nice. Sure, that works. And then you instantly walk in, take a little bit here, and then you ping up to Rift Herald. Exceptional. That's perfect. Take objective into objective, it's free. Go for the next blue buff. Perfect. Take even more. So now we're in a bit of a predicament. They're collapsing on us from all angles. There's 3 here, and the 4th one literally on top of your Callista. What should you do? The answer is leave. You can go to this blast cone. You can walk up and Q over the wall, get out. Whatever you do, you don't want to fight. You Q in towards the fight, and then you run away. You get drawn back in by Diana. Here you have 2 members fighting this guy. You know 2 of them are here, and one of them is currently on top of you. What should you do? The proper play is to go for Swain and kite back to your team, because we don't want to be fighting all of these by ourselves. What we end up doing is we blast the Diana, and then unfortunately misclick the Vlad here, and we give our shutdown to Vayne. And because we fought that, it baits Volley in, he flashes, and our team gets roasted. And then that's the end of that play. So, I'm going to rewind it real quick. And this is how you should think about solo queue, because if you think about it this way, it will improve your gameplay. There's 30.7k to 32.9k right now. 30.8, there we go. So, Callista dying here is inevitable. She's being a goober, she's way too far up, she shouldn't be here. She's dead, you don't have to die too. This is her numbskull play, okay? So she dies 31.3 to 33.1. If we go for Swain here, and we don't die here, you've got a 650 gold bounty. So that's 950 gold for just you. You cannot die here. Swain looks like he's going to die no matter what. So if we kill him, we get the gold for him, and then we get out and we lose nothing else. Instead, you go for Diana, and you get 300 plus 75 gold. So you get 400 gold. If we don't look at you for a second, Swain dies for 400 gold. Okay? So, Callista died for 400 gold, and Swain died for 400 gold. We would have traded that entirely, and there would have been net nothing lost. But instead, you die and give over essentially 1k. And then that baits the team in, which gives over, let's see, which gives over 400, which gives over another 500 plus 150 plus 20, so that essentially just gave over 3k gold to the enemy team, just because you went for the greedy play instead of going for Swain. So you alone right there cost your team 3,000 gold instead of the 400 that Callista was going to die for anyway. So this is your first big oopsie. It was just a greedy play. I'm not going to lie, I probably would have went for the same one. But it was unfortunate you misclicked on Vlad. You still would have died regardless. So here you're really strong. 7-1. 7-2, 6-3. Okay? You go back to jungling. Once again, you need to start on the top and then path all the way down. You take one camp, you take this camp. If we look at it, Callista goes for these Krugs. You've killed them, I believe, once, and then someone else killed them once. So, they've been very, very minimal taken, and that's a lot of gold. Essentially, each camp is about 100 gold at this point. So one quadrant is 1 kill. You don't take this. You take 200 gold here. You lose 100 here. You lose 100 here, and then you're going to lose Gromp as well. So that's not ideal. Rift Herald 2 that you're currently sitting on, you want to use for tier 2 towers, ideally. You see Jax as you put it down, bummer. You get it to charge, and here you should back off. Jax is really strong, really, really strong, and he's got Counter Strike, which invalidates our entire champion. But we go for a fight. He absolutely blasts you. You have to waste ult, and then you get Lux killed, and then you get yourself killed, which we didn't see. While this is happening, your team fights, and they get killed as well. So, once again, pretty big throw over a tier 1 tower. This is not good. We shouldn't have even done this. The next objective up is Dragon in 56 seconds. We should be going down bot side. As a team, I see Jax is pushing. You go to stop him, okay. Now you're pathing down here, good. However, the scary part is we see only Vlad, and then we know Jax was top. So there's 3 of them that could be hiding in this bush, in this bush, in the dragon pit, right here. You don't know. You kind of need teammates to back you up to do this. You don't run into anyone, luckily, and everyone's on the top side. So you get really lucky with this. But here you're just kind of hovering around. You want the dragon, obviously, but here it looks like a fight's going to brew any second now. You need to be with your team. You should not be starting dragon here. But you do. And then Jax comes over. If you hit Jax with this Q, he might have died. But end up whiffing because he jumped in. Okay. Now the dragon's gunning down your whole team because it zaps everybody. And it's doing a lot of damage. You're queuing in with half HP. Very scary. You're the entire damage of your team right now. You have to stay alive to kill the Vayne. You get the Swain, ulti over to Vayne. Beautiful. Here, you see Malzahar die. You need to bail out. You need to get out. Just queue away. Walk into Jax, melee range, punch him once, and another decently big throw. You played that as well as you could in the situation you were in, but here, you should not be queuing in this way. If Swain throws his E, you die, and then your entire team loses the fight. Like, this was bad. You should not have done that. But you didn't get punished for it, and then you end up doing your job exceptionally well on low HP. So that's another objective. Bummer. So we keep going. Game's almost done. Once again, you go to a middle camp. You don't take this. Volley takes this, and Volley's probably going to take this. So you lose out on a lot of gold. We know that the enemy team is right here because they were just standing here. There is no shot, no way you ever one-shot this guy because of how healthy he is. But you go in anyway. This is trolling. Look at that. You get half health instantly and have to flash away. That was really dumb. That could have lost you the game right there. Good on you to go to this Gromp here because it's basically going back to the fountain and you're back to full HP. So right here, all you are looking for is Vayne. Period. That's all you're looking for. She is your only target. Bully gets a pretty big pick on the Swain here. You're walking around. Vayne is super far out of position. So you end up getting the Vlad and then going for Diana. Really well played. You instantly ping the Baron. This is perfect. Push the mid wave, go for Baron. Absolutely beautiful. So you start it. We see Jax here. So we should be looking to peel off of it and turn, especially if anyone else comes. We see Vayne, we need to turn. We need to get off of this right now. You're playing too far back, you're still hitting it. And then you lose one member, 2 members, oh, 1 member. You lose 1 member and almost 2 people just because you didn't turn. So this was just being slow. They got you off of the Baron regardless, but you were a little bit slow on it. Take the Krugs, finally, good. Push the top wave out. A bit greedy, but I would have done the same. You should just leave. There's nothing to defend here. They don't have minions. It stopped here. So that was a little waste of time, but this far in the game, it doesn't matter as much. You go back for your team in the mid lane. You see Vayne right here. Q assists, 1 HP. You're charging up your Q. You should go in now. This is a free kill. You have R up. You can Q in. You have Death Stance, and you just bought a stopwatch. This is your kill. This is your fight. Boom. Game over. You Q out them. Okay. You should be queuing in now and going for her again. Period. Go, 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 go. And then you queue backwards. She should have been dead that entire time. She should still be dead. You can even queue in now. But here, I'm not sure why, but you end up going for blue buff, even though you're in a 5v4 fight right here because Swain is dead. This is where you end up throwing the game, unfortunately. They go in, you're taking Gromp now, and then Diana comes in, blasts your whole team, everybody dies, and the one member of your team who does damage, you was fighting Gromp. So this is where you lose the game, pretty much. You should have just stayed with the team. You could have killed Vayne. You had a free win, honestly, on that fight. Then you go over here. Nothing you can do. Just got to get out. Nothing you can get. You try to be over here. Try to save what you can, salvage, but it's just a lost fight because you don't have Callista. They chose the 5v4 that you guys didn't, and then they won it. So here they push in. There's not a whole lot more to watch. Your only goal here is to try to survive, wait for the inhib to come back, and then win a team fight. So there's not much to get. You're trying to just grab whatever, but everyone's taking your jungle. Pretty difficult. This is dumb. You should not be here. You need to be with the team. They have Baron. There's no way you outpush anyone. You're all your damage. Once again, they cannot deal with this Vayne without you. So here you push that wave, recall. Get out of there. They end up fighting. You're still top lane pushing this tier 2 to try to base race a Jax with Baron. I'm not quite sure what you're doing. And then your team loses another fight because you're not there once again. So here, your team is up in 20 seconds. You just have to survive. Not die, not go in, just wait and then try to win a fight when they're up. They're up in 13 seconds. You just gotta wait. You end up going in. You get condemned by the Vayne. They're up in 3 more seconds. You just had to wait. You end up dying. And then they can't hold the base. And you end up losing. So, you played this game pretty well for the most part. But you didn't take objectives when you could have. You could have had a lot more. You got a lot of kills off of ganks that just worked. But you didn't take objectives when you could have. Your pathing was pretty weak. You kept going to those inner camps, and you skipped a lot of camps and just wasted a lot of time walking around. And then when you have chances to all in, kill them, you play really timid. And then you had another chance to go in, and you just kind of left your team to get the camps that you didn't get earlier. So that's what ended up losing you the game, is you just kind of abandoning your team, unfortunately. But otherwise, you played really well. It's just your late game macro needs some work.